People get uneasy around you because you can see right through their asses. Or people avoid you because they feel like you can see straight through them. And everybody knows people avoid you when they trying to hide something, or they got something going on they don't want you to know. They're trying to hide it. Your man been cheating on you, or your best friend been texting your boo, your new boo you've been with, or people can't stand for you to know something they have done. And when you an empath, you just have that sense, you know. And my husband thinks I'm crazy. Like, he really thinks I'm crazy, because I always have called it in the past women intuition, because I learned a long time ago that when a woman has women intuition, you are supposed to listen. If your woman intuition said, ooh, I think I'm about to get in a car wreck, or ooh, I think somebody's gonna break my house, or something bad about to happen, ooh, somebody finna get shot. Listen to it. Listen to it. If you somewhere and you think, like at the movies, like, you know, people shoot in the movies nowadays, if you ever get a weird feeling, you think you just need to leave, you need to go. You need to shoot. And I learned about women's intuition that way. I took a safety class and it was like, you know, get out or whatever. But now that I know what being an empath is, I can really relate to this intuition situation, because I notice when I'm around people, I get their energy. And so I always can tell when my husband keeps something from me. I always can tell when somebody lying, but I don't call them on it, because I'm not going to assume make an ass out of myself. But at the same time, I just know, and I feel like people get that from me. They like don't always want to talk to me. Just certain people, because they know that I know they bullshitting. Like, especially my old bosses, like any boss I've ever had, they come to me, you know, all bossed up and this, that, and the third, and this why we didn't do this in your paycheck and stuff. And I'll be sitting there like, what? All right. Cool. You know, it's just like, but that's another reason to tell if you're an empath, because people feel sometimes uneasy around you when they're going through something. That's actually a good thing. I like that one. On to number 8. You feel extremely responsible for the well-being of the people around you. Maybe people tell you a lot, you know, oh, don't take that so serious, or just let stuff go. But, you know, like for instance with my grandmother, I felt extremely responsible for her well-being, to the point where I left college to come home to another. I left Winston-Salem State. Well, this is one of the reasons why I left school. But my aunt had passed away, which is my grandma's sister. My great aunt passed away, and I felt so concerned about the well-being of my grandmother that I just couldn't focus at school anymore. I had to transfer from 4 years college to a 4-year college, UNC Charlotte, down here, just so I could be close. I even had the counselor tell me, because you have to see a counselor if you want to leave. At that time, you had to see a counselor if you were thinking about leaving school or transferring or whatever. And I told her what happened. My aunt had died suddenly over winter break. I didn't even know she was sick, and I just felt bad. My grandparents are older than my aunt, so because my aunt died of, you know, what she passed away of, it just made me feel so uneasy, like that was going to happen again. And so I just felt extremely responsible for my grandmother's well-being, because me and her were so close. She's like my mom. And so she was like, you know, if you leave school, Miss J, you're not going to be able to do anything if someone gets sick. And I'm like, I know that. I know I'm not God. I know I'm not a doctor, but I need to be home with my family. And that's a prime example of me feeling extremely responsible for the well-being of someone else. And it's one thing if you can help it, but if that's I mean, with being the empath, you just can't help it. It's just there. You just can't help it. You probably could control it better. Like in that situation, I could have said, okay, you're right, I'll stay up here at school, but I probably would have just been, I had so much anxiety the whole time I was there. Number 9, you act out of character from time to time. Depending on who you're around. For instance, okay, if you're around somebody who is quick-tempered or have a bad temper, being around them, you may act out of character. If they're quick to go off on somebody, if they're quick to cut somebody out, you liable to go the hell off on the person too. Even though that's not your normal personality, it's just you pick up the feels, you pick up the emotions of the energies of the other person. So if you're around a group of girls, or you just around one person and you're boastful, you're the loud one, you the one that's rah 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 rah, but you get around them and they quiet, then next thing you tone down. Personality change or acting out of character is another way to tell if you're an empath. Number 10, you kind of don't know what you want or need around others. When you're by yourself, you know exactly what you want to do, exactly what you need. But around others in a group of people, like if you're in the car with your friends and they all deciding on, girl, what you want to eat at? And you really don't. I mean, normally, I want some Chinese food today. But then, you get to thinking who all in the car, who like Chinese, who don't like Chinese, we want some pizza. Or who like pizza, who don't like pizza. Or I want some fried chicken. Or, you thinking about all this stuff, and it's just like, it's really hard for you to decide. So when you in a group, it's easier for you to let other people decide. Versus you, expressing it yourself, because it's just too much stuff going on in your mind when you an empath about all that stuff, about all what's going on at one time with all these people, so you just go ahead and let them make a decision. It's just easier for you to let others make a decision at that point in time. I'm not saying life-changing decisions like, should I buy the house? Good, you better buy this house. Should I buy an apartment? Should I rent out a condo? Should I rent a flat? No, not life decisions like that. Just, I'm talking about little simple stuff. 11, you always find yourself in lose-lose situations. Okay, you don't like disappointing people, and this is me. This is when I used to be. Recovering yes addict. I couldn't say no to anything. I used to just always say yes to people. This is how I always find myself in a lose-lose situation. I hate making other people mad or sad or disappointed in my decisions, so I typically just say yes to go on with what they want to do, but at the same time, I normally didn't want to do it. I hate disappoint other people, but at the same time, when you do go along with the program, you don't like the program that you went along with. Always finding yourself in a lose-lose situation. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. That's another way to tell if you're an empath or not. Looking people in the eye. Looking people in the eye or standing around them affects your response to them versus being at a distance. So if I'm by my husband and he asks me a question and I'm looking him in the eye and he say, you gonna cook dinner? And I know I don't want to, and I might look him in the eye and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna cook dinner. Yeah. Or if I'm next to him and I can tell he's hungry and he say, you gonna cook dinner? I'll be like, yeah, I'll cook dinner. If he asks. If he don't ask, I ain't gotta cook dinner, child. But if he's at a distance or on the phone or out in the car, he call me like, babe, you gonna cook dinner? I'm like, nah, I don't feel like cooking dinner right now. Just go ahead and do what you're gonna do. Like, look at somebody and I like your teacher. Did you study for the test? And you just bust out with the honest truth, like, no, yeah, no, I didn't study for the test. But if they were to ask you, like, you walk a deal like down the hall and pass and did you study for your test? Don't forget to study for your test. And you might be like, all right, I got you. It's a whole different situation when you are looking someone in the eye. When you an empath, looking somebody in the eye and being around them is a whole different story than being at a far distance from them. 13, strangers tell you shit that you don't want to know. They just bust out with it. They just, I don't know. I guess they can feel your energy. I don't know. But strangers tell you stuff you don't even care about. You like, what? What you tell me that for? Like I told you about that dude at my old job told me back that he wanted that itch cream for his stuff. I didn't need to know that. I didn't need to know that. People used to come in my old job and just tell me all kind of stories about their life, what they're going through, their grandkids, their baby daddies, their baby mamas, what they're doing tonight. I don't care. And that's another sign that you're an empath. And on that same note, family or friends tell you something they don't tell nobody else. Like, have you ever had somebody tell you in a conversation with them, you text them, you talking to them face to face, and they say, I've never told anybody else this before, but I'm gonna tell you. Or they tell you something and they finish it off with, I've never told anybody else that before. That's how you know your ass is an empath, because you just bring it out of people. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And see, me, I know how to keep my mouth shut too, so, I'm a good person to tell. Every empath you can't tell. They done been told somebody else, child. So you got to be careful who you're opening up to. And this is good for people who aren't empaths too, because you got to be careful. Us empaths suck your ass in. You won't even know what done sucked you in. Number 14. Just because you feel sad doesn't mean you're sad. You could be feeling sad for somebody else. I.e. watching the news. I can't watch the news. I cannot watch the news. I get extremely sad. I don't even watch the news. I don't know what's going on in the world. That's what mom tell me. I know that's sad, but it's very hard for me to watch people get hit by tractor trailers, drown, tornado hit, fire started. I can't. It really just downs my, even just talking about it just now made me just feel like, it just kind of shook me for a second. Like, people dying out here. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I really feel that shit. Like, I really, really feel it. Number 15, your past affects you a lot to this day. Someone in your past has told you something. Your grandma told you to go to college and finish school. Your mama told you to make jewelry and pursue your career. Somebody instilled in you that you need to grow up, get married, have 4 babies. Someone in your life has told you something. Someone very important in your life has told you something to this day that they wanted you to do. And they told you every year. They told you all the time. I want you to do this. I want you to do this. I want you to do this in the past. So now to this present day, the fact that you haven't done it affects you. Or you're working towards doing it right now. And it's not even something you really want to do. That's a main example of being an empath. My whole thing was finishing college. My grandma instilled that in me to finish college. To this day, I feel so bad for myself because I haven't finished college, because I haven't made her proud. You see what I'm saying? That could be either or, empath or not empath, but if it still affects you, if I were to say, I'm just not going to go because I'm not going to finish, that would kill me to say that. But at the same time, I know that if I can't go back to school or I don't want to, that's my decision. But at the same time, she instilled that in me, so your past situations can have a bold effect on your future in your life to this day. And those were the 15 things that can let you know if you're an empath or not. And then the other things I'm going to mention right now are just some little pros and cons about being an empath.